At least 2 people were killed and 1 person was injured after Russian shelling hit a cafe in a village near the town of Kupiansk in Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region, said the governor on Saturday. Meanwhile, Russia claimed to have shot down one drone approaching Moscow and another in a border region. It also reported that Ukrainian shelling injured 6 in a border town. At least 2 were killed and 1 was injured after the Russian shelling hit a cafe, said the officials in Kupiansk, which is about 6 kilometers from the front line. This comes after Ukrainian officials in the region had urged vulnerable residents living near the town to evacuate earlier this month amid reports of Russia ramping up attacks in a bid to recapture the territory in the region. Taiwan's defense ministry said on Saturday morning that over the past 24 hours, it had detected 20 Chinese Air Force planes entering the island's air defense zone, including a combat drone that flew along Taiwan's Pacific east coast. Democratically governed Taiwan, which China claims as its own territory, has complained for 3 years of increased military pressure from Beijing. Last Saturday, China held a day of drills around Taiwan in an angry response to brief stopovers this month in the United States by Vice President William Lai. Offering further details on Friday's Chinese activity, Taiwan's defense ministry said that the aircraft involved included Su-30 and J-10 fighters and anti-submarine aircraft. China's defense ministry did not answer calls seeking comment on Saturday. Japan started releasing treated radioactive water from the wrecked Fukushima nuclear power plant into the Pacific Ocean on Thursday, a polarizing move that prompted China to announce an immediate blanket ban on all aquatic products from Japan. China has raised the issue of wastewater release in the United Nations and urged Japan to immediately stop the operation. China has termed release of nuclear contaminated wastewater into the Pacific Ocean a selfish and irresponsible act. The issue was raised at a plenary meeting of the United Nations General Assembly called to discuss cooperation between the UN and the Pacific Islands Forum on Friday. Zheng Shuang, China's deputy permanent representative to the UN, said that Japan decided release of wastewater unilaterally, disregarding public interests. This, said China, has caused the risk of nuclear pollution. 4 astronauts representing 4 nations and space agencies across the globe launched aboard a SpaceX rocket towards the International Space Station, kicking off a mission expected to last more than 6 months. They should reach the orbiting lab in their SpaceX capsule Sunday, replacing 4 astronauts living up there since March. The crew is riding aboard the SpaceX Crew Dragon endurance capsule on the mission, dubbed Crew 7. The spacecraft launched atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 3:27 a.m. on Saturday. The 4 astronauts on the mission include NASA's Jasmine Mockbelly, who is serving as mission commander, Danish astronaut Andreas Mogensen, representing the European Space Agency, Satoshi Furukawa of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency or JAXA, and Russian cosmonaut Konstantin Borisov of Roscosmos. This was the first US launch where every spacecraft seat was occupied by a different country. Until now, NASA had always included 2 or 3 of its own on its SpaceX taxi flights.